Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Mondays with Max. Revised. Well, revisited, revised, whatever. But yeah, I am back on first shift. So at least for the next month, I'm going to do Sundays and Mondays and see how it goes. But might end up just continuing that, but we'll see. We shall see. But appreciate people showing up tonight. I expected to be kind of a sparse crowd, especially with BTC going on. As well as I'm not normally on this time of night and I didn't tweet it. So, hey, you guys want to tweet it out? That would be appreciated. Yeah, was a nice relaxing weekend. Got some stuff done. Didn't record as much as I had hoped. I have to, just like I do here, I have to just schedule it and just be like, you are going to start recording at this time. You are going to have all of your ideas done by this time with outlines, all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, I've definitely recorded some this weekend, but not enough. I still have to finish the NAS video, but a little quirk got thrown into things. But before I get into that, let's see who is here. Cody Johnson, Jacob A, Frogman, Shides. Happy Memorial Day to everyone here. You mean eager what I've been up to since yesterday? And Crypto Crag is always 8th, no matter what number he actually is. Automatic Beats. Caw Valley Crypto. Mr. Red Panda Mining is here. Rohelia Esquire. Man, I guess he can't come on Sundays, but he can be here on Mondays. So good to see you, Rohelio. Black Cat Team. Let's see. Who else is here? Crypto MB. And I think that's everybody for now. But people are coming in. So, yeah, last night after the end of the stream, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll finish up the video. I'll start installing Duplicati and get that backup going. And all of a sudden I looked and I'm like, that only says 2.2 terabytes. That's not right. So that led to a multi-hour trying to figure out what the hell was going on. Joker Miner been a member for 22 months. Oh, did DJ just show up right after? Oh, I see. 22 months, 22 for DJ. I got it. So thank you for being a member for so long. Very much appreciated, as well as all my members. Retro Mike Tech is here. I do forgive your tardiness. I was making sure Red Panda Mining's IP address was still banned on my pool. Oh, that's funny. Lukewarm Mining, good to see you. So anyway, going back, so was trying to figure out why this thing had 2.2 terabytes instead of 10 terabytes. I know it was a 10 terabyte drive. So I went down the rabbit hole on this thing. It was on an old HP Elite desk. So I did an initial search and it said, oh, it's probably an old hard drive controller, and they only go up to 2 terabytes. And that's why. And I'm like, okay. But then other people are like, no, I got it to work. So then I was like, okay, then maybe I need a BIOS update. So then I started looking into the BIOS updates, trying to find that. And on HP, it's not like just downloading a BIOS file. It's a little bit more involved than that. It's like you have to download the BIOS executable, which comes with a bunch of files, but you have to make sure that you leave the directory structure the way it is. Otherwise, even though you select the right file, the BIOS will go, nah. This isn't going to work because you don't have the right. It's like a protection. They're trying to idiot proof it when we know what we're doing type of thing. So, but I didn't end up having to do any of that. I started, okay, what is the simplest thing to start out with? What could have gone wrong? And I'm like, all right, well, let me look at both drives. The parity drive was saying 10 terabytes within Unraid. But on the other drive, it was showing a partition of 2.2 terabytes. It's like, okay, what's it doing with the rest of it? I'm like, so wait a minute. What happens if I just delete that partition and then reformat the drive within Unraid. So I went into Unraid terminal, went into parted, selected that drive. Well, did a list of the drive to make sure I selected the right one. And then selected that drive and then did remove that partition, which was partition 1. So RM space 1. And went back. Sure enough, it then said, this isn't formatted. And in order for me to do all this, there were two things I needed to do. One was basically take it out of the array. So stop the array, take it out of the array. But the other thing I needed to do was to, within unassigned devices, which is a plugin for Unraid, had to make sure that the ability to be destructive to that drive was eligible to do that. So I had to set that feature on so that I could reformat the drive. So anyway, once I did that, then did the remove partition, went back, reformatted it. It then was formatted as 10 terabytes, but now I had to basically put it back into the array as like a new drive. And then the parity drive had to rebuild that drive, even though I had nothing on it, but it's about the same amount of process, whether or not it was, if I started the whole thing out brand new or if I just had it rebuild it. So I just had it rebuild it. Took about 15 hours. And the initial parity took 12 on only 2 terabytes of data. So I think it was faster to do the rebuild. Well, I'm almost positive it was faster to do the rebuild. So now it is ready to go. And so after this, I will record installing Duplicati and all that stuff, and then decide whether or not I'm going to make it into 2 videos or just 1. Because I don't know how long all my talk is or not, but yeah, almost done. I was ready. I'm like, oh cool, I'll be able to finish this tonight. Nope, not so much. All right, let me check the chat, see what's going on there. Oh, Joker Miner, you're gaming in GTA 5. Nice. I'll tell DJ I said hi. Let's see, what else did I miss? And Red Panda, you probably should get into GTA before, DJ was pretty mad that you didn't join him the other night. He was pretty mad. Let's see. Approved, not banned. Yeah, Red Panda never checks his DMs. Like, never. Or you know what? He may check them. He just may not respond. He has a tendency to ghost people, including me sometimes. It's all good. Joker Miner, I think your video has been okay. Again, everybody gets better at their format of videos as they go. It just takes some time. I like the fact you're creative in how you like. So in case Joker Miner has just started creating content, and but anyway, they did one on all of the ways you can make money in your car. So it's Demo, Hive Mapper, Pulse, GeoPulse, and Natix. And it was kind of cool how he like had a vertical, then a skinny horizontal, and then another vertical. And it was just kind of cool how he kind of broke up the screen when he was showing the different devices. I thought it was cool. So I like that part of it. Definitely like that part of it. But again, you're going to get better, Joker. Nobody ever starts out having phenomenal content. Nobody does. But it's definitely a good start. Definitely a good start. All right, let's see here. Integra guy is here. Good to see you, sir. I knew somebody just showed up. I don't think I missed anybody else now. I think that's pretty much everybody. So anyway, but yeah, good job, Joker. At least you're putting out content. More content than me right now. at least I have works in process, which is more than I can say about a week or two ago. So some of these projects just take some time, especially this NAS one. But the thing is, what I have to learn how to do is when you're building these videos that are like projects that just take time to actually finish, you have to work like out of sequence. Okay, fine. I can't just focus on that one. I need to focus on like low hanging fruit. Like I've got the power one all like the outline, everything. Instead of waiting to be finished with the one, I just need to go do that video on power and community solar. And actually there is an update on the power, because today I noticed that there is, let me do that, make this a little bit bigger here. Where did I put it? Right there. And I'm actually, because a hobbyist, I'm actually going to put in my transmission fees so I can say what the full all-in rate is for both standard and hourly. But here, let me share my screen. This one, right? Yeah, there it is. So they did actually come out with what the new rate is, because June was the start of the new rate. Now, if you look at it, it's less than a cent more than the previous month. Now, it is about 2 cents more than like 4 months ago, and about 2.5 cents more than, say, November through January. But you can see it's been trending up. But if you look at it, why is that? Is because the carbon-free energy adjustment was huge. So where do I get this information from? Let me see if I can find it. Not that one. Not that one. Here it is. So this is a company called Illinois Aggregation Consultants. Their job is to actually get municipalities to sign up for like third-party providers, and they help to negotiate them. But one of the things they put on their website, which I think is really cool, is updated rates. So in this particular case, you can see here, the summer base rate is 10.028 cents. That's for supply only. Transmission is about 7. So, which I'm actually going to calculate out. I've never actually calculated that out perfectly, but it's right around 7. So basically our rate right now is about 7. Our standard rate is about 17 cents. But we have this thing called carbon. What did I call it? Let me go back to this. I'll come back to that. There it is. Carbon-free energy adjustment. And basically that was something that our there it is, that our state legislature passed, so that when rates go up really high, we end up getting a credit when market rates go up really high. So that's why we had a nice, so if you look down here, this is where you can see the big spike where it goes up to 10.5 cents. So it's 10 cents plus the PEA, which is 0.527. So basically you're looking at about 10.55, actually 10.555, when you add the purchased electricity adjustment to it, but then you take the 1.7 out of it. So if you look down here, here's that 10.555, which is the rate, just the flat rate history, not including the carbon-free adjustment. But then you bring the carbon-free adjustment and you can see the last 2 months have been negative, especially this month. So instead of being 10.555, it's 8.852. So yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what my bill is, because I have not seen high rates at all. Again, I'm on hourly rate, so I'm market rate, and my market rates have been really low because May has been a very cool month. So there's not been much air conditioning, if any, on at all. So low power usage means low power prices, and I'll have the 1.7. I would not be surprised if this month I actually might be right around 10 or slightly below 10 cents kilowatt hour, which would be awesome. I would love that, but I won't find that out until after June 1st. I don't know what cycle they're on exactly right now, but usually I get my bill shortly after the first of the month, but they've been really kind of wonky the last 2 years, this time of year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and certainly will provide an update on the hourly. So that's going to be, I have a feeling this month will be one of my biggest savings ever compared to standard rate. But we'll see. My predictions may not pan out. We shall see. All righty. DJ's here. Good to see you, Mr. DJ. Yeah, build things at work and run them at night is how I've been doing. I mean, if you're mining, yeah, I mean, running things at night, especially if you're on hourly, yeah, that's absolutely the way to do it. But if you're doing what I'm doing, like in what you're doing with, well, salad, you can actually still take things off and not have it hinder you. But with Vast, you need to be on. The reliability factor is a big thing. But I mean, I am not complaining what I'm making. In fact, I haven't checked what I finally finished up with for the last 24 hours. Let me do a quick refresh here, because it was a good last 24 hours. Let me see. Actually, it wasn't as good as yesterday. It was $108 the last 24. The day before was $110. And I know why. That there's a difference there. The reason why the difference is because my 3090s weren't rented. They were. Are they back rented again? They were. They did actually get re-rented earlier today. Yeah, they are re-rented, but I'm making like almost nothing on them. But everything else is rented except my 5060 Ti's. Those still are not rented. I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty dry summer when it comes to those 5060 Ti's. I have a feeling. I almost bought a 5090. So they're now on shelves. You can pick them up at Micro Center. Not my local Best Buy, but my next closest Best Buy, 14 miles away, had one on the shelf, an MSI. It'll still be almost entirely impossible to get a Founders Edition 5090. That will be impossible because those are going to get snatched up. No question, because the price is so much lower. But all the other ones, yeah, you got to pay $3,000 for it, or right around there, but you can pick them up. And honestly, with what I'm making on my current 5090, I mean, it has a better break-even point than pretty much any ASIC you're going to get. It has been consistently rented, although the demand for 5090s has waned a bit. But once you pick up a job, probably going to be pretty steady on it. But yeah, all my 4090s are rented, so definitely happy about that. Let's see. Goat is here. I'm at the Bitmain WDMS welcome party, and it's a ghost town, but it's still early, I guess. I suppose. That's interesting. All right. Trained by Cobalt. I'm intrigued as to where that comment came from. All right. Where did that comment come from? Because my sister's familiar with COBOL. She learned COBOL in college and then actually used it for a long time. Still does occasionally. Anyway, new product announcement. Interesting. We shall see. We shall see. Red Panda says there's 4 5090s at my local Memory Express. I'm going to buy them. Are you? Or are you just saying that? Because if you were going to buy them, why haven't you already bought them? Just saying. All right. Something else. Oh, and then I told you guys last night that I switched my one salad rig from a 3060 Ti to a 3060. I'm checking it right now. It basically fell off. So it was on for about 24 hours and then it fell off. But oh my Lord, has the salad demand dropped off a cliff. If it's in low category, there's like no demand. And everything except for the 4090, which is in moderate, is in low demand. And it does go like in order. And the 3060 Ti right now is jumped up to 5th, while the 3060 is near the bottom again. And all right, well, let me just double check something. Yeah, it's still unrented. It basically fell off at about 6 a.m. this morning. But again, it was good for a while. And so right now I'm at $95.65. So I need another $15 to cash out. So gonna be a while before I cash that out though. One other thing, a friend signed up for the Kraken thing, the Kraken promotion of $75. You do not I was surprised. You don't actually immediately get the promotion. I still have it up here somewhere. Right there. You don't immediately get the promotion. You do get an announcement saying that you'll be seeing $75 in BTC within 14 days. But you will get it. I think. I guess we'll find out. I haven't seen it yet. In fact, let me just I'm looking in my pockets for that's not it. I'm just double checking to make sure it didn't already get added. I'm guessing not. But we'll see. Let's see. Nope. It has not been added yet. But let me go back. I want to see if it actually should have recognized it though under my referrals. Interesting. No, it did not. In mine, it did not do anything. So we'll see. Maybe I won't get anything, but you guys will get stuff, which is fine. But yeah, right now it has not recognized that that my code's been used. Interesting. Okay. Go figure. All right, let's see. Swamp 7, 3090s on salad are making $550 to $625 per day. They were. But if you look at the demand now, it is entirely shifted. If you look at the salad network monitor, 3090s are not as bad as 3060s, but not as good as 3060 Ti's. So, yeah, I've definitely thought about moving them back to salad because that's where I originally had them and then they weren't doing anything there. So, gonna kind of still play it by ear. I've actually thought about selling the 3090s and then just replacing them with something else. Because like I said, I'm making so little on them with the power that they're burning up. The guy who was using it was mining a Leo. And I'm like, you're losing over $1 a day. Why would you be mining a Leo? You're making like, I went through it. You're making like 6 a Leo a day. That's it. And it's costing you way more than that to run it. It seems odd to me. Let me just double check. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, he's running a Leo. Running a Leo. And then I think this is the other one. Yeah. And this one's also running a Leo. So whoever's doing it, it's the same person, I'm pretty sure. So TBJP. Yep, TBJP. So it's the same person that's picked up both. Just seems odd to me. Very odd. Maybe the person knows something that we don't know. Don't know. All right. Let's take a look at the markets. I'm going to check. Let's see. Retro Mike. I've had 3056 gigs rented on Clore. Someone rented them for 30 days and haven't even been running jobs on them. So I've been earning the full amount for them being idle. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, one of my 4090s, my single 4090, that's the way that one's been. It hasn't been doing anything. It's just been sitting there idle. But yet making almost 27 cents an hour doing nothing. Second TL, is the salad monitor accurate? I have found it to be fairly accurate. Now, if you already have a job and you picked it up before the shift, yeah, then you're probably still going to be, you're still going to be on that job. This is, I believe, accurate for any new jobs. So if you're idle, the odds of you getting a new job, that's what this is basically saying. So I think that's an accurate way of doing it too. Because if you have a job, you're like, well, I don't really care what this says. I have a job. So, all right, let's see. Clory Eyes said they need more 4090s. Yeah. Where are you going to pick them up from though? Not really making any more of them. So yeah, not making any more of them, unfortunately. I actually did look and, to see like, oh, is anyone, stocking Micro Center or Best Buy? And I don't see any. So, and honestly, it's risky picking up, 4090s on the secondary market. If anybody, this like Northwest Repair, I think is the guy's YouTube channel. He's like, man, these are all these boards are going to die. And here's why. And he like goes through it. He's like, if you're going to pick one up, make sure you pick up an MSI. Of all of them, that's the one he has seen, have the best design. He's opened up the PNYs and he's like, they're underpowered. So yeah, it's, I've seen him have to fix a number of things, especially if you have something mounted horizontally without a brace. Yeah, all those are cracking at the PCIe connector, at the back of the PCIe connector. And he's been fixing a lot of those. But he's also had to like reball, and basically reflow something back into place. And yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot. I've been pretty lucky. I have not had one fail. I know others have had some fail. The only one that I had quote unquote fail wasn't really a failure of the board. It was a failure of the heatsink, and that was a Founders Edition. And I just had to replace the heatsink because the vapor chamber had a leak. So replaced it and all was good. Thank you, Swamp 7. Appreciate me being able to buy it at a really good price. Second TL says, when last have you gauged the demand on Flux for AI rentals? It's been quite a bit of time. By the way, welcome, Second TL. I haven't talked to you in ages. It's good to see you. Really good to see you. Yeah, I haven't been on there for quite a while. I've been kind of trying to monitor their Discord channel to see, are they really calling for cards? I really haven't seen them calling out like other places have. I still feel like they are still in the getting organized phase of things where they now have to sell. That the system works, but now they got to sign people up. So, oh, good. Well, hey, maybe I'll stay on Monday. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm on Monday, let me re-ask the poll, which I have a feeling might be a little bit different result. Does Monday work better than Sunday for you to attend live? Yes, no. Actually, that's really kind of vague. I'm going to say, which night works better? Oh, come on. Which night works better for all right, let's see. Sunday. I can't type. There we go. There we go. Poll started. Poll started. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I guess I have a contact at Chlor too, but I haven't talked to him in forever. It's been so long. Third option, both for all rival. I mean, I might end up staying with doing both, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a Red Panda where I can, I have, a good bulk of my day available to me to record content, and doing both. I was kind of thinking, switching back to Monday so that the weekend could all be about recording content. Because I do prepare for these things. And like, what am I going to talk about? Like last night, you guys could see I had a lot of things lined up to talk about, and that does take time. It definitely takes time to figure out. I know other people, when they go live, they just like interact with the chat and just talk to the chat, and that's all they do. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that can be highly entertaining. It's just not what I do with my live streams. I do more of the, oh my God, I can't think of his name. He passed away due to COVID. Why can I think of his name? Anyway, he used to do 8:30 every single night. And he always used to say, I'm only going to do 15 minutes. And then it'd be like an hour. But I kind of go, and you always come in with a subject. Like, this is what I'm going to talk about. So I liked that style of a live stream. But anyway, may he rest in peace. Geek, run a poll for me. Should I go live in Vegas on Wednesday? I will. Let me finish this one up and I will do that. That's interesting. So it's about the same, but the opposite from last night. So we got 16 votes so far. It's about 2/3 Monday, 1/3 Sunday. That's interesting. That's really interesting. And about the same amount of viewers tonight as well. So get your vote in if it matters to you. Chlor may want to do the sponsor thing again. Do you want to join? Wait a minute. That you are more GPU rental averse? What? That's all I do is rent GPUs. Yes, I would be interested, Red Panda. I would definitely be interested. I've actually thought about putting something on Chlor anyway. The 23090 rigs aren't verified, so those are my obvious candidates to take off. of Vast and put them on something else. So I may end up doing that. Okay, I will put your remind me, guys, to put the poll up about going live on Wednesday. True. I mean, yes, tonight is an anomaly for the people that are here, but they still also have an opinion on whether or not this night works better or not. So it's still valid. But yes, the number of people that are here could be an anomaly, but I don't think it is. We've all been seeing fewer and fewer people on our live streams. So, oh, more than you are. I meant, oh yeah, got it. Yes. Have a good night, Geek. Appreciate you showing up. All right, let's see. And hello, All Set. Good to see you, sir. He snuck in here. All right, so I went through that. I don't know if any of you guys saw any of the Computex coverage, but there is one company that really stuck out to me, and I love their stuff, and it's Thermalright. Their stuff is so damn cheap, but so good quality. And the stuff they are doing is cool. I mean, obviously they still have their air coolers. Still very, very good stuff. That's the only air cooler I'm going to buy right now. I really love their air coolers. That one back there has a Peerless Assassin in it. I have a couple more Thermalrights down in the basement. So, absolutely love their stuff. I have an EKB AIO in this computer, but it's probably going to be going pretty soon because, man, that thing, how old is this computer? 5 years old? 4 years old? I've always heard AIOs, man, the pump's eventually going to go. So hopefully it doesn't take anything else with it. But we'll see. We'll see. But they now have liquid coolers that they're doing. They are offering micro ATX cases for like $40. Good quality cases. I was like, that's crazy. I mean, I know that there's other ones like Montech that offer in that same price range, but for a company like that, that's crazy. I don't know. They're like getting into everything. Not just cooling related. So now I'm trying to remember, there was something else. Oh, now they're getting into mini PCs. So now they're going after like minis forum, type of mini PCs. And obviously everything, their whole strategy is we're going to do it as good or better than the next guy. And we're going to do it for a heck of a lot less. And everybody worries about Thermalright being put in the crosshairs of another market because they've done so well everything that they put their mind to, and they have control over everything. Like they have like metal fabrication. Now they did say the case manufacturing is outsourced, but I have a feeling that if they succeed in that category, that's going to be short lived. All right, let's see. Oh, now it's a 75% Monday. Interesting. Byte gets here tomorrow. Interesting. Are you going to have to pay a tariff on that? That's what I've been hearing. Red Panda says, I don't do any GPU rental videos because I want to keep it all to myself. I mean, there's a lot of people doing GPU rental content. I mean, I was pointing out last night and maybe there's a few more people here tonight. Well, about the same amount of people here tonight, but Extreme Will Tech and AlphaMine, they're both not at 1,000. We need to get these guys to 1,000. They both do great content. Extreme Will Tech does, it's EXTRM Will, one word, space, tech. In fact, I probably still have their channels up here. Nope, that's that. It's this one. This is the channel, Extreme Will Tech. Go, if you have not subscribed to this guy's channel, go and subscribe. Really, really good content. You know, he updates. He's mainly a salad guy right now. But you can see from some of his others' content, he was originally a miner, but has pivoted to what's more profitable. Makes sense. At least I think it makes sense. And then AlphaMine. This is fascinating content because he is doing Octaspace nodes pretty much exclusively. So I think that that's pretty cool. I have not watched a ton of his stuff yet, like his setup stuff, but I'm really curious to look a little bit more in that. I might set up an Octaspace node, although I have heard you have to have some Octaspace to basically stake in order to do that. So I don't know. I'll have to look into that a little bit more, but definitely fascinated in that. So if you guys haven't subscribed to these guys, go subscribe. Go subscribe. Really good guys. All right, let me scroll down. Oh, Byte is in the US. You're getting it from the US. Well, that's good. Yeah, it'll be good content. That's for sure. So you got it from Helium Deploy. Got it. Gee, I wonder why they're still in stock. Not very profitable. Plus, the first ones didn't work. Extreme is great for salad. Yeah, he's really good for salad. He's very detailed. I mean, he's the guy that kind of told me that the Salad Network monitor, they changed the way they do things. He said it was more representative of what the actual demand is. So yeah, I'm getting, when I say that I like these guys, I watch these guys. I watch when their stuff comes up in my feed. Yeah. Yep. Talking points. I get it. I get it. No, thanks, Max. I started to unfollow people. Yeah. Too much stuff coming up in your feed. Yeah, I have started doing that a little bit too. Well, you're here, so I'm guessing you haven't unfollowed me. So I guess, you know, when you have these people like in Facebook, they go out and they're like, hey, I just unfriended a whole bunch of people. If you're getting this, then you made the cut. And I'm just like, thanks. Like, you don't need to announce it to the world. You don't need to announce it to the world. But anyway, so all set. Thanks. Just kidding. Let's see what else is going on. For Byte, people ask about my hardware when they come over. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I know tomorrow I'm going to get all kinds of questions. So tomorrow, little worried, just because anytime somebody comes in that can make your life difficult, it worries me a bit. So tomorrow I have the village inspector coming over to inspect the electrical for the panel upgrade. He better not frickin' want to turn off the power or I'm going to be pissed, because I'm almost fully rented and I do not want to lose these jobs and I don't want to lose reliability. So I will lose my shit if he says I need to. I'm like, no, you don't. You can take the goddamn cover off the panel and you can see whatever the hell you need to see. You ain't going to get electrocuted by doing that. So I may not make any friends tomorrow. I might have to get bailed out of jail. Anyway, I'm ready for Bear and hopefully that doesn't happen. But anyway, he's coming tomorrow morning. In actuality, speaking of that, as we were trying to set up the outdoor lights, we remembered, oh yeah, the front GFCI outlet was alarming and now will not be able to get reset. So tomorrow morning, I have a job, and that is to replace the GFCI outlet. So this one's kind of cool because it's, instead of having like a screw on the side, it's like you stick the wire in the back and then you just close the latch. So it should be a pretty quick install. So I don't know. We'll see. Wanted to give it a shot. But yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, everything's been working well. I'm a little worried, like when I go to do that maybe they mislabeled a circuit or something. So I definitely will be using my voltage tester, my Klein Tools voltage tester. It wasn't. I didn't stick it in backwards. That has nothing to do with it. It has to do to the fact that this one's only voltage. I had the other one set on current. Yeah, I stuck probes in an outlet when it was on current and it blew it back at me. I don't recommend that. I definitely don't recommend that. What was that? Make sure they know I'll be around to supervise. Sunflower Mama says she just wants everybody to know that she'll be around to supervise. Anyway. Frogman's like, wait, what? Yeah. Yeah, good thing I'm an electrical engineer. There's a big difference between an electrical engineer and an electrician. Big difference. Big difference. I can design circuits all day long, but don't ask me to rewire anything. Oh, so great point. Crypto Craig. So the fans are doing a phenomenal job. They're doing their job. Problem is, I need more inflow into the basement. So I think if you remember last year, I had about a 15-degree difference between the upstairs and the downstairs. I don't think that's going to be the case this year because the amount of air it's trying to pull, it can't pull that amount of air through the two windows. You have to remember those fans blowing out have very little resistance. They just have some mesh. The stuff coming in, trying to keep the bugs out. So there's a lot more resistance coming in. So it ends up pulling air from upstairs. So there's a couple of things I could do. I've got 2 more window wells downstairs, but they're on the other side of the curtains. So I could make a curtain that goes right at the end of the stairs, or not at the end of the stairs, but where it goes into the basement, where the ceiling starts in the basement, and basically just goes straight down from there, which would create more resistance to pulling air from upstairs. And then I could put screens in those other windows. So I've thought about doing that. I don't know. We're going to kind of play it by ear a bit and see how it goes. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. But it hasn't really gotten that hot. It's gotten to almost 90. And it was definitely warmer in the house. But it wasn't that bad. It never got to 80. So I don't know. We'll see. But so far, it's definitely doing its job. It's doing it really, really well. Joker says, what did you think about Extreme not being able to connect to Salad for weeks? I thought that was pretty interesting. And then I looked at his networking setup and I was like, dude, I don't trust Salad that much. I don't put Salad on my computer. You never know. And to me, it's not worth it. I want to make sure that equipment is completely segmented off from my PCs on a completely different subnet. So yeah, I was looking at he's got unmanaged switches everywhere. He doesn't have anything that looks like it's managed at all. It works, but it's all on one. I'm sure it's all on one subnet. Almost guarantee it. The only thing I can think of is if he has a like smart router, like a Ubiquiti or a TP-Link, where he has one port feeding all of those switches. Then he says that's the only port that can have, that is on that subnet, and that feeds everything else. Well, then it may be unmanaged switches, but that all that stuff would be on that single subnet. So maybe he has it run like that. I haven't seen him do an explanation of how his networking is. I've only seen the switches that he has in his garage. So I should actually ask him. I think that would be interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, that was a crazy ISP issue, crazy situation. Yeah. Now here's the other thing. I don't know if he was doing, because a lot of people that are looking to make money with their equipment, they also have bandwidth sharing on. So I'm kind of curious if he got put on a list maybe because of bandwidth sharing. I'm not saying he was or he wasn't, but it was one of the things that crossed my mind. Because that's way, way against your agreement with your ISP to basically be sharing your bandwidth. Yeah. Let's see. You need to put up that foam board to help control the exhaust. I do need to put up the foam board still, but that isn't going to control where the air is being pulled off. And believe me, I walked behind the rack and it's hot back there and it's pulling and you can feel the air moving. All my equipment is cool. So I'm definitely happy with where the temperatures of the equipment has been, even when it's been hot down there. So it's been good. But I will eventually put up that foam board. But again, it's not going to solve the problem of too much airflow being pulled from the basement. I know he says it was an ISP issue, but the question is was it an ISP issue because somebody did something that they shouldn't have done? Like they changed a setting because of something that they discovered. If they saw that he was doing bandwidth sharing, somebody reset something, and that's what may have caused some of the problems. I don't know. It was just a thought I might have had. Oh, it's a thought I had that might have actually been the reason. Yusuf Putz, hello. Hello. So what did you guys do for your weekends? Did you guys do anything fun this weekend? Tonight, since we ordered this, like I said, this from Home Depot, I thought about getting it from Amazon, but this one was, like I said, really cool because it should go a lot faster with the clips instead of the screw. So we picked that up from Home Depot, and while we were out, we grabbed dinner. So we went out to dinner at Culver's, big spenders, and had dinner there. It was nice. And then headed on home, and actually while I was sitting there, I was actually modifying my thumbnail. Oh, by the way, who was the person that said that the thumbnail guy from last night looked like John Cena? Because this guy that I had on this thumbnail looked way more like John Cena than last night's, in my opinion. I am not mining anything anymore. I thought about doing Cubic or Quay, whatever. Qui, whatever, however you want to pronounce it. But after I saw Rabbit's video on, I think it was Cubic that he did, where it's like, yeah, the estimate that that hashrate.no has is way off. So I was like, oh, well then never mind. So yeah. Joker Miner says, I need to do VLANs, but need help with Ubiquiti. Make sure I don't screw up. It's honestly pretty hard to screw up. It really is. I mean, all you're going to do is create, I can walk you through it. I know Panda could walk you through it, but I could definitely walk you through it. It is really easy. You create networks and you sign a VLAN to it, and then you go into the ports of the devices and assign a VLAN or multiple VLANs depending on what you're doing with that port. Like the ones where I have the ports that I have for my Proxmox server or my Unraid, those are going to have multiple VLANs on the port, but you know, the actual Unraid server itself is on one VLAN while the actual VMs are on different VLANs. So like I have like 5 or 6 different VLANs, and so I've got one for nodes, I've got one for mining, I've got one for GPU rental, 2 for my Wi-Fi, actually 3 for my Wi-Fi, but one of them never gets used because it's for guests, and I haven't had any guests over to use it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then one like main one that allows me to get into everything. So alrighty, let's see. Psalm7 says, just remember, Unify allows all traffic unless you make a rule to stop it. Dumb any real firewall blocks everything unless you make a rule allowing traffic. Yeah, that's true. So one of the things you want to do with like your GPU rental stuff is that when you create a VLAN, you can actually, I think it's either when you do it in the port or when you actually create the network, where you basically say that everything on that subnet can only talk out to the internet and back. It can't talk to anything else on the LAN. So, and just know that if you have set like a machine that can go talk to that LAN, like you have a main machine that you use to manage things, you'll still be able to talk to it. It's just the fact that that can't initiate anything. So, yes, that's it. Click checkbox isolation on that network. So it is network wide. Okay. Thanks, Panda. So that's basically what I did. Doesn't need to talk to anything on the network. Just outbound. That way, if anybody breaks in, somehow breaks through that VM barrier, that Docker barrier, breaks through and somehow is able to get into your network, won't be able to go anywhere anyway, or at least make it a hell of a lot more difficult. So nothing's foolproof, but it's there's 2 different ways to look at it. One is, you know, people used to put, you know, the things on the steering wheel so that you know, you couldn't turn it. It doesn't stop you from stealing a car. It just makes it a lot more difficult. That's exactly it. You want to make it more difficult so that somebody who wants to steal something or do something nefarious, that they're just like, this is too much trouble. I'm going to go work on somebody else's. That'll be a hell of a lot easier. It's kind of like that thing of, you know, you're in the woods with a bunch of friends, and there's a bear. I don't need to be faster than the bear. I just need to be faster than the slowest guy in my group. So anyway, basically the same thing with networking. Just make it difficult so that people don't want to get into your network. It's just not worth it. Didn't they just use a hacksaw to cut? Yeah, that's exactly my point. Is yes, but it takes more time. It takes more effort. I'm sure now they're using cordless tools to do that. I know in the city, Chicago, that everybody had to like upgrade their locks because people were just bringing, you know, like their little, you know, portable, not circular saws, but you know what I'm talking about. And they would just cut through. It would take a while. It'd take like 5 minutes to cut through it, but they could eventually get through it. Yeah. Yeah. Manual transmission equals anti-theft. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing. A lot of them, a lot of people will not want to steal a manual transmission car. Max, what do you have on your network anyone would want? Well, true, but that doesn't mean, I mean, If somebody got into my computer, I mean, trust me, look at what happened to DJ. Now, I don't think anybody got into his computer, but they might have. We don't know for sure exactly what happened there. In fact, I take that back in his case because he downloaded something. So yeah, because then it did actually. But yeah, why would anybody want to get into that part of the network? True. Why wouldn't they just go straight to the computer? That's definitely possible. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I know how to drive stick. It's actually kind of funny. So my wife actually learned how to stick right away. That was the car she had. So she learned how to drive stick as her first car. Me, on the other hand, not so much. I went to Saudi Arabia for 2.5 months, and they were trying to get somebody to go out there. I mean, definitely got paid quite a bit more when I was out there, so that was kind of nice. It was like a 40% increase while I was out there, so plus a stipend as well for living, which was really high. Anyway, that was back in 92, and I went out there and they're like, okay, yeah, we got the vehicles. And I looked at the vehicle, I'm like, guys, I've never driven stick. They're like, what? You've never driven stick? I'm like, nope. I'm like, well, guess you're going to learn. So that night we went out to a parking garage, multi-level parking garage, and just practiced. And it wasn't that hard. I picked it up pretty quick. I wasn't great at it, obviously, for a while, but all I did was drive. So while I was out there, that was a big part of what I was doing. Yeah, learned how to drive stick on a Nissan Patrol in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, it is a skill that's good for people to know. And Tiger Guy, save the manuals. That can be taken multiple ways. Like save the paper manuals that we all throw away because everything's online. Yeah, it was hazard. It was considered hazard pay. It was considered a dangerous part of the world since I was not over there during the initial Iraq war, the first Iraq war. I was there after. But because of everything that happened in Iraq, it was considered a possible hazard zone. There wasn't a travel ban or travel restriction or anything like that on going to Saudi Arabia, but the company decided that, yeah, in certain parts of the world, if you were going to travel there, yes, you were going to get paid more since you were putting yourself at risk. And you're definitely putting yourself at risk. I would probably say the biggest risk I had while I was there was actually running into camels. And because when you're driving at night, there are no street lights. You're driving in the middle of nowhere. Funny story after this. Sorry, just made me think. So anyway, so we're driving, and we were driving one road that was a main road, and we came up upon like a little bit of a backup. It wasn't what you'd call a traffic jam or anything, but it took us a little while to get through it, and then we saw why. Because the problem with running into a camel is the fact that you knock the legs out and the body lands on the passenger cabin, and it just crushes it. So everybody gets crushed inside. And in this particular case, it was like one of those mini pickups, and there was nothing left of the cab. It was completely crushed. So yeah, it was not a pretty sight. Definitely not a pretty sight. But the other story I was going to tell you was in that same general area, actually, we were, and it was actually, I think that same day, we were doing a drive, and then we needed to get back to the, where the transmitter was, and to take it down, before the end of the night. We couldn't leave that in that site. We couldn't leave it overnight. But by the time we were heading back, if we went back the original way we came, it would have been like after midnight by the time we got there. And I'm like, you know what? They called them camel tracks. I didn't make that up, but basically where you're riding across the desert on some unmarked, completely unmarked road. And it's not even really a road because there's multiple tracks all over the place going this general direction. So they consider it a camel track. Anyway, we decided we're going to do this via compass. Because, yeah, there was no GPS. We had GPS in the car, so we did have that going for us at least. But other than that, we did not. And the GPS didn't like directly relate to a map. It just related to where we were on the globe. And so we more did things via compass. And so we're like, we're going to point that direction. And eventually we're going to see the light at the top of this hill that we're now going to know to go towards. So we're like driving and we're like, okay, go a little left here, go a little right here. Oh wait, we got to make sure we're going that direction. So we got to make sure we're going right. And eventually we picked up on like a brand spanking new road that we're like, okay, we veered a little bit more to the left than we were supposed to. So we hit this road, took us to the right and took us directly to where we were going. But yeah, we're like, well, how bad could it be? We just spend the night in the desert and then we figure it out in the morning when we can see. But obviously chances of running into a camel in the middle of the desert in that area, probably a little bit higher. And then we'd be screwed. We'd be absolutely screwed. But there were 2 cars. So certainly we'd have somebody to support, but alrighty, let's see here. Let's see. So is cursive. Yeah. Yeah, I really don't write in cursive. I don't really write much anymore. I type everything, but when I do write, I kind of write mainly print, but I go into cursive towards the end of a word or towards the end of a sentence, usually just to quickly finish something off. No, not Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Desert Shield was the first one. Desert Storm was the second one. Yeah, I mean, we definitely got to see some of the damage. Obviously, Iraq sent missiles into Saudi Arabia, so we did see, just in driving around, we saw some of the places that were damaged and destroyed. Let's see. My 5-speed Tacoma with 39-inch boggers. Oh my God. I want to see it on your auto channel, Red Panda. When are you starting that? Yes, Panda can do everything. Everything. Show me your wrenches. Retro Mike says, I type in cursive because I'm fancy. Fancy. Sorry, all I can think about when Panda says, Shides, DM me. I'm like, oh yeah, just so he can ghost you. Sorry. I'm kidding. You got a new Tonka toy. Oh, okay. Well, this is a family channel, Shides. This is a family channel. If you guys need to take it offline, okay. Yeah, I still have a BitX that I haven't even ever touched. I really just need to give that away one of these days. Yeah, there you go. Well, if he ever gets up there, right now, he's making bank on them until he comes to pick them up. So there you go. Alrighty. Well, gosh, I've already been an hour and 10 minutes. All right, a few more minutes. Ask me any questions you guys have. Otherwise, I will call it a night. Shide says, I'm kidding. For real, though, I have my 5090 on salad for a few days, and it was a joke, hoping it comes to life eventually. Yeah, the 5090 on salad is just... It's like they haven't recognized what it can do. Now, They still are figuring out the drivers, which may be the reason why there's so much trouble with it. But on Vast, I think they pretty much have figured it out. And there are like there's like specific jobs that go on the 5000 series versus the series before that. So Vast has figured that out. I'm sure others, I don't know about RunPod or TensorDoc or any of those other ones. I'm not sure about. But Vast has figured it out. I'm guessing Salad hasn't, and that's why. You're right. 5090 drivers are still not 100%. Now, they did just come out with a like production driver now. I have one of my 5060 Ti rigs on the production, and I have one of my 5060 Ti's rigs on the beta driver. And both of them are 575 dot whatever. The 5090 I still have on an older driver. I have not updated that driver yet, but I'm not going to update it while it's rented, and it's been rented for quite a while. So, am I doing anything with Crank lately? Yes. I actually just looked at it today because I was grouping all my tabs together, just to kind of get things a little bit more organized. And I mean, it's just the thing's been tanking. Let me see, where is it? Right there. Yep. There's my Crank dashboard and my wallets. My total assets for as long as I have been doing this thing are just under $40. $40. And I have been in this since the start. So yeah, it's, yeah. I mean, I'm making more on helium than I am on Crank. So I'm doing both. I'm dual mining on these things. I have not done their other multi-miners. I've just done Crank and helium. So yeah, I'll ride this one into the ground. I still have like 0.8 KDA, because you need KDA in your wallet in order to earn Crank. So right now I've got like 12,300 Crank, something like that. Yeah, it's not worth a lot. It's really, but who knows? All right, let me see. Tari is merge mine with XMR, has a trading pair to XMR, and everyone is selling into XMR. Interesting. That's where the CPU mining is doing well. Swamp 7, it's not NVIDIA, it's all the supporting applications that need to be changed for 5090 support. NVIDIA changed the NCCL library. Oh, I was not aware. And Vast definitely changed that. In fact, when I installed the last the two 5060 Ti rigs, it's like, if it's 5060 or if it's 50 series, it's gonna take a while. And it did. It took quite a while. I think about over 5 minutes to get through that portion of the install. Maxwell, well, at least it works. Unlike ETC POW nodes. Hey, I still got two running. I still have that. It's like worthless, but I still have it. I still have one running right here on a NUC, and another one running on my HP. Although the HP, I am gonna see. I may put that's another one. I'm probably gonna put a 3060 on my other HP and put it on something else. One of the other platforms, whether it be Clore, Flux, whatever. Because I think it can power it. If not, I can always add another small power supply to it so it can just power the GPU. Yeah, it's not, what am I talking about? It's not going to power it. It could power like an A2000 because that would power it all through the PCIe lane. But yeah, that I'm pretty sure that computer does not have any PCIe power. Yeah, pretty sure it does not. So yeah, I'll have to power it through another power supply, a small power supply. Heck, at that matter, I might as well put a 3090 on it instead. That may be where I move the 3090 to and then buy a 5090. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to figure out where I'm going to put it though, because right now that one is like vertical. Although it probably would work. I'd have to put it like here's the way that instead of being flat, it would be vertical, and then I could put the GPU maybe right on top. I just got to make sure that it's not precarious in any way. The thing I get is a magnet on the bottom of the actual like cage that I put the GPU on, but on a wire rack, I'm not sure how precarious that the actual case would be with the GPU on top, especially if it was a 3090, something heavy. I mean, yeah, I could keep it low power, I suppose. Retro mic. That's like a mortal sin to miners to basically do 6-pin to SATA. Yeah, I mean, I thought about doing a 4060 low profile. I actually looked those up. They're stupid expensive, like stupid expensive. But what's interesting is I'm pretty sure even the low profile ones are too long. Like there is no space behind the PCI. It's like literally about that much space behind the PCIe connector. So yeah, I'd have to look to see. I know the Asus one was way too long. I'm not sure how the other ones are, but yeah. There's no room. There's something right behind the PCIe slot. I mean, obviously it needs low profile in order to have it just go directly in the slot, but I don't know. I'm debating. Like I said, I have a lot of ideas. Like I said, want to at least take one of my mining motherboards, including the one that Panda gave me. Well, that is the one that Panda gave me, upgrading that to like either an i5 or an i7, and then getting some memory for it, and then another disk for it, and putting it on something. So I don't know. Evanation, good to see you, sir. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed to Evanation, go subscribe to him too. Although I haven't seen Evanation, have you been putting out much content? I haven't seen you come up on my feed lately. God, I gotta unsubscribe to stuff that I'm just not that interested, or that I just don't really care about watching anymore. Retro Mike says, I ran data adapters on RX 570s in 2017. Never had a fire or melted cable. Only people stressing them on 2080 Ti's had issues. Good point. You're welcome, Evanation. I'll think about it. If you think about it, it's like it still could be pulling. I mean, I could tune it down. Like right now, I've got my 3060 I've got in my Unraid server. One of the fans doesn't work, and so in order to keep it cool, I have to tune it down to somewhere between 120 and 130 watts from 170. But yet, they still rent it. Now, I do have that one rented for less, than the others. But it still works and people are renting it. So Retro Mike, unsubscribe to me, subscribe to good content creators. You are a good content creator, Retro Mike. You have very good content. So I know I mentioned this before. Shane Hummus is a guy that I subscribe to, and I watch a lot of his content, a lot of his recommendations. One of the things he said is really making inroads is raw, unfiltered content. Less about the ultra edited videos, you know, editing out the gaps, editing out all the mistakes, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. He says that is where people want to see one take. They don't want to see all these cuts. It is pretty interesting because you obviously can, by adding in B-roll at your cuts, you can not make it look like a cut. You can make it look like it's intentional. So there's definitely a lot of editing tricks that you can do in order to get around that. But what I have found entertaining is some creators have gone to either including, like Goat does. Goat includes his mistakes like in the middle where it happens, but other people will take and do outtakes with their mistakes, which is entertaining. I like the way Goat does it, because he always makes every mistake he makes funny. Oh, before I go, you guys were supposed to remind me. I need to end this. So right now it looks like this is definitely a Monday crew. The other one's definitely a Sunday crew. So I don't know. Maybe you're telling me I need to do both nights, and maybe I will, especially with the bull run coming. Outtakes are silly. Well, the good thing about it is when they're outtakes, you don't have to watch. They're at the end of the video. You can just turn them off. I like them, and I'm sure some people like them. Some people hate them. Great. They're for the people that love them. You can watch them. And for the people that don't, you can just turn it off. All right. End poll. And let's start a new poll. I'll say it even a little bit different way. Will you tune in? We'll put it that way. Will you tune in to a GOAT live stream if he goes live on Wednesday evening? Yes. No. All right. And then I'll let him know what the results are. So I'll stay live for at least another 5 minutes. At least another 5 minutes. Yeah, I would like to be a retired Retro Mike. I don't have enough money to be retired. Definitely don't have enough money. Working on that though. Working on that. You know, if you guys would just go and, you know, get on Kraken and make yourself some $75, you know, and use my referral code, might help. Oh, I'm pointing the wrong way. I didn't even click on it. Yeah, that one. Anyway, I do appreciate, you know, all my members. You know, it's very obvious. I don't do, the only thing I've done for my members is obviously I do call them out and definitely appreciate everything you guys have done to support me. It makes a big difference. It's what keeps, honestly, what keeps this channel going. So I definitely appreciate all that. The only thing I've done for my members, I've done member only giveaways, and some people have won those things. So I'm sure they appreciate it even more, but I really appreciate all you guys tuning in and supporting the channel. So thank you. I don't know. Maybe instead of, because I don't know if Wired Wednesday is going on. It's been kind of hit or miss, so I don't know. Answer the question as if it's not going to conflict, because I'm sure he will work at it so that, and most likely it's going to be after. Now that I think about it, he's going to be in Mountain Time, and Wired Wednesdays is going to be at 7 o'clock Central Time, so 8 o'clock Eastern Time. That's 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So yeah, he's not going to do the live at 6 o'clock. At least I don't think he's going to. So it'll probably be after. Yeah, exactly. Lately it's been more off than on. Yeah. Which I get. I mean, honestly, I've watched all the lives. For the most part, nobody's getting the same amount of subscribers, or not subscribers, getting the same amount of viewers on their live streams as they were getting before. I know mine is probably due to the fact of having a little bit less crypto content. I know that's a factor, but that's a strategic direction of my channel right now. I'm obviously still doing crypto content, talking about the markets, but it's less of a focus of what I'm doing, if that makes sense. So I know that that's affecting how many people are actually watching the channel. So in fact, as long as we're still live, let's take a look at the markets. It came down a bit, unfortunately, back below 109. Bummer. I know I saw that Litecoin had come down. I might buy a little bit more Litecoin since it's come down. We shall see. But yeah, looks kind of here. Let's look at just the 24-hour. Uniswap's still doing well, but everything else looking very red. Jupiter's up 6.3% today, up 18% for the week. That's pretty nice. Still have my Jupiter, which I'm debating on when to get out. If it ever hits $1 again, I'm probably going to get out at that point. I don't have a lot. I think I have like 200 or something. Actually it's like 250 is how much I have. So it's not a lot. Let's see. Anything else? PancakeSwap is up. HiveMapper's up. Well, that's nice. That's good. Demo's been having a bad week. Having a real bad week. You want to know who's really having a bad week? Neoxa. Every week it seems like lower and lower and lower. That stinks. All right, we got 10 votes. Come on, the rest of you vote. Are you going to watch the GOAT live stream? So right now we got 9 votes yes. 9 votes yes. It's okay to say no. It's okay. All about the number of yeses. Trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to go over. I think that's about it. Need to go in here and figure out how to go into the apps. I don't think I've installed Duplicati yet. Duplicati. I have not. So I need to install this. But I'm going to do that as I'm recording the actual install. But yeah, that's the way I'll do it. And then there's actually some other things. When I go to do it remotely, I'll add Tailscale to it. So that'll be like my VPN. So I'll have to figure out exactly how to do that. But I'll figure that out later. Right now, I just want to get the initial backup and go from there. All right, let's see. Yesterday, Neoxa put out a vote about possibly increasing the collateral requirement for nodes. Really? Yeah, at this rate, it'll be $100 soon. Yeah, I mean, it is not much. It's like $240, $250 to start a node. You want to spin up 6. Yeah, at this point, I'm not investing any more money into Neoxa. I'll ride this into the ground to 0, but so this has definitely not been. I've lost over not 90%, 80%, 80% on what I invested. It was, I think, about 1,600, something like that. Is when all is said and done, that's how much I paid to actually get the Neoxa to run the node. But it's still running. It's still earning. I went from 1 million. I think I'm up around 1.3 or 1.4 million now. So it's still earning Neoxa. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We haven't gotten altcoin season. Maybe it'll make at least somewhat of a recovery. But again, I would rather see Flux go up. That one is the one I really want to see go up. That one will be good. All right, let me switch back to the full screen. All right, you guys got any more questions? Otherwise, I am going to end the poll. Only 13 people voted. Evanation says, I still have ETCMC and pre-search nodes running. May as well run them. What else are you going to do? Well, here's the thing, Evanation, if you hadn't noticed this, you have to stake ETCMC in order to request a payout. They made that a requirement. And it's about $70 in order. Well, it was last time I checked, it was about $70 that I would have to add. So it's like $110, $120 is what it's required to stake. I really don't want to stake $120 worth of a coin that's already a piece of crap that is continuing to go down. So right now I have them running and I'm just going to continue running them. And actually I lost about 300 would be my guess. When I redid for the Unraid backup server, because I used the drive that was in there and that's what had it on there. So, oops. Let's see, maybe in 6 years, I'll be going, damn it. That's my $5,000 Unraid server because of what I lost that was on there. Do I really think that's going to happen? No. Not losing any sleep over it at all. At all. Well, what else am I going to do? I had said I was going to take my HP Elite Desk and actually get that running as some other, like, put a GPU on it type of thing and just leave the top open, because obviously I'm not going to get a GPU in there that's going to stay or be, I could get a low profile 4060, but I'm not going to do that. It's only 8 gig. And those aren't going to do very well on what I'm trying to do. Bits, please, YouTube. YT, good to see you, sir. And we're just about done. But hey, thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. And I see people, no VOD squad for me today. Well, you kind of got to like rewind it at this point to watch it back from the beginning, if you'd like, if you would like. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a night. Let me end the poll. Oh, we ended up getting 15 votes. So that is 87%. That would be 90% would be. So that's 13 out of 15, right? Yeah, 13 out of 15. So 13 people. All right. I'll let him know out of the people that I had left. So, alrighty, guys. Well, again, thank you guys for being here. I will be back here on Sunday night. And so I will see those people that go to both. I will see you guys on Sunday. Otherwise, if you're a Monday person, I will see you guys next Monday. Hopefully right around 8 o'clock. Hopefully work doesn't keep me late, but we'll see. Alrighty, guys. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And as always, no tabs were harmed in the making of this live stream. Have a good night.